This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And Wyoming Sports Talk Today on the air, being brought to you by our good friends over at Taco John's of Cheyenne. You'll find Taco John's on KRAE Avenue, Yellowstone Road, right at the corner of Del Range and Ridge, at the corner of Ridge and Pershing. And, of course, on the south side, you'll catch them. Well, they're still rebuilding the South Greeley Highway address, so you'll find the Taco John's food truck right inside the parking lot of the Outlaw Saloon. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, where the 20s are invading and the 19s got to go. So you're going to find some special wheeling and dealing being done right now by my buddy AJ and the crew over at Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Check out the entire family. We're talking Kia, Sorrento, Soul, Telluride. Let's talk about, the Sportage, the Forte. It's all for you right now at Key of Cheyenne. Platte Valley Bank times 2. Banking. Yes, all of the service you've come to expect and more from Platte Valley Bank. If you're looking to do a loan, maybe a refi in your home, maybe a HELOC. How about, you want to do a remodel or you need an auto loan? See my good friends Rick and the crew over at Platte Valley Bank times 2 on Vanda High and at the corner of College and Pershing. Chick-fil-A, right there at Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field. And Menards open 6 days a week, serving up 3 delicious squares, 2 convenient drive-thrus. Meat, I like to dine in because the atmosphere is so wonderful over at Chick-fil-A. On the menu right now is their delicious mac and cheese. That goes perfect with everything. Yes, everything over at Chick-fil-A. And for a limited time, you can still enjoy their frosted caramel coffee. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, Del Range, across from Powers Field, and Menards. Medicap Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical needs. Gene and the great staff invite you to come on inside and do your business Monday through Saturday. Or if you're on the go, hey, a lot of us are in that type of mobile mode all the time, then use the convenient drive-thru. Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center, which can be found over on Pershing Boulevard, the Auto Body Shop over on Dunn Avenue, all part of Lennox Enterprises, serving our community needs for the last quarter century. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday, offering some fantastic rates right now on CDs with annual percentage yields. Oh, by the way, they are co-sponsors this weekend, this Saturday in Lions Park. So do join First Tier Bank and our friends with the Alzheimer's Organization for the End to Alzheimer's Walk. That'll be in Lions Park around the South Picnic area. And we also want to thank our good friends over at Mondello's Pizzeria right across the street, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Paisan cuisine at its best. Family recipes, everything fresh, always delicious. The reputation of Mondello's Pizzeria speaks for itself. For almost 5 decades, delicious Paisan cuisine only here in Cheyenne from Mondello's Pizzeria, ranked in the top 10 nationally by the food expert votes. Oh, yeah, you didn't know that. I do know that. So check out what Joe has on his menu today at Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. And we go to our scoreboard, which is being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
LCCC action from this past weekend, kind of similarities on the men's and women's soccer side of things as both teams traveled up north to take on Northwest College on Friday and also do Saturday's doubleheader against Central Wyoming College. But it's similar on the wins as well, too, as 4 wins in total for both teams. Looking at that Northwest pairing as LCCC took on the Lady Trappers and Trappers. For the men, it was a 6-1 victory, and for the women, it was 6-0 in favor of LCCC. Saturday's games against Central Wyoming for the men, it was 14-0. How about the same result for the women as well, 14-0 against Central Wyoming. So for LCCC men, with the 2 wins, they are 6-3 overall. With LCCC women's soccer, with the 2 wins, they are 7-0 4-1 overall, and they are still number 4 ranked across the nation. And LCCC women's volleyball competed in the Wild Nebraska tournament. 2 games in Torrington, 2 in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. The 2 games, first on Friday against Northeastern Junior College, lost that at least contest 3-2. However, got a win that at least Friday night against Colorado Northwestern Community College, 3-0. 2 losses, unfortunately, on Saturday, one against Salt Lake Community College and the other against Western Nebraska Community College. LCCC women's volleyball with the only lone win on at least this past weekend. They are 2-16 overall.
And we go to the National Football League. It's Monday Night Football tonight from the nation's capital as the 1-1 Dub Bears, Chicago Bears, will take on the Washington Redskins. Major League Baseball. How about the final week of the regular season? Now we can kind of sort things out a little bit. We already know who the division winners are, especially in the American League, but still some stuff up for grabs in the National League. Phillies and the Nationals. They'll hook up at Nats Park this evening in the 5 o'clock hour, as well as the Orioles and Blue Jays at the Rogers Center. Red Sox and the Rays in the Trop. That's a very important game for Oakland A's fans. Marlins, Mets. They'll match up at Citi Field. Cardinals and the Diamondbacks late night tonight. That will be at Chase Field in Phoenix. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds. We're best buds.
And there's nothing that we love more than a
cool,
crisp,
deliciously refreshing Pepsi.
Sure, we live inside your mouth.
But that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the finer things.
Hey, Nate. Pepsi incoming!
Here it comes!
Tastes so good.
Tell me about it.
So,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like we share the same mouth, Kate.
Forever and ever, Nate.
Make your taste buds happy and pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
And a Monday afternoon. Good afternoon to one and all. Larry Proetti, Nick Proetti, as we are here today. All kinds of stuff to talk about. Pretty much football if we could squeeze in, and maybe at the end a little baseball will do that. But pretty much this is going to be dedicated to football. Friday night, both of our teams in town, and unfortunately, 2 out of 3 got wins.
I was going to say 3 of them, at least, not excluding. So, again, we have 3 here in Cheyenne, but, yes, all 3 in town. One team had a deal. Again, ironically, we had all 3 playing in Cheyenne that Friday night. Our contest started at 6 across the way up north, with Cheyenne Central started at 7 o'clock as they took on Campbell County. Go figure that game, however, got hit by another lightning delay where for our contest, it was just a bit breezy, no rain, no.
Well, we had a delay in the beginning.
In the beginning, though, but it did not affect the start time. But throughout that contest, we did not have any lightning delay or anything.
But as I explained to you,
as
I explained to you from the National Weather Service, when they say there's a 40% chance.
We weren't even looking at that for Friday.
I know, but even when they say that, that means there's a 40% chance of Cheyenne getting hit with thunder. Thunderstorms. So,
but you're talking a distance between South and Central, though. Where again,
it covers about 10 miles.
We're trying to understand of how these lightning delays at least exist, or how they determine what causes that delay. Again, it's a simple matter of mileage, but you'd figure that even though it's a little bit spread out here in Cheyenne, but nothing too extreme. But you figure that if there was a lightning strike or at least something in the vicinity of Central, that maybe would it affect at least South at that point in time, but it did not.
Well, we saw it kind of when we were at South I. We saw that storm pushing in a southerly direction. That's why they cleared everybody out when we got there about 4 o'clock. Then all of a sudden the winds picked up, and then you could see it moving about northeasterly, and and eventually made its way right around the Cheyenne Central area. And again, if I'm not mistaken, what do they say? It's like about a 7-8 mile window that once lightning strikes,
like that,
that they have to do the maneuvering. So, but in our case, when Mark Puev said, "Hey, clear everybody out of the out of the stadium. I think we brought everybody back in about, 450,
And again,
455?
at least sending everyone out of the stands, there was about two people in total in the
But
stands.
you know what
it
I'm
was
saying.
well in pregame, but other than that, though, there was no danger, no harm at any point in time. Again, the weather, it was just windy at the tail end where we could tell that that Central game was getting delayed up north. But
the pregame itself was uninhibited. I mean, they
No
got to
rain,
do their,
no nothing,
They
yeah.
got to do their pregame in, and the game went on. So let's talk about that game, and then of course we'll head over to Cheyenne Central. That game went. I don't even know what time it ended.
I think in total of what I remember from our video broadcast, it included our pregame show and also two postgame, at least talks with head coach Chad Goff. Also, too, brought up a player. We did make sure pregame to talk with head coach Dan Gals to see if he wanted to chat and bring up a player from Cheyenne South as well too. But unfortunately, they were kind of busy postgame, just at least talking on the field, just going over what happened at least that Friday night against Cheyenne East. But in total, I think that entire broadcast for us went about 3.5 hours, which is very, very quick. And it certainly picked up the pace there in the fourth quarter once it hit that 45-point mark. Once that, at least that's when that clock started officially running without delay.
And again, and when I was having coffee with my buds this morning as we talk about it, I am not a fan of this running clock. I mean, it's great. Yeah, you get out. But again,
well, then you have
help.
an issue with here in the high school ranks, then at least the 10-run rule in baseball. Then you should have that problem with that too.
I do. But then again, too, we take our foot off the pedal.
All right.
The thing is, though, too, I never had this when I was in high school. I don't know if you had this when you were in high school. I can't remember.
I never even thought this was a thing because it seemed like back in at least that late 2000s playing over at Cheyenne East, it seemed like every game was pretty competitive. Even when Cheyenne East, during the 3 years that I was, at least as a Thunderbird, again, games, it seemed like you're always competitive. Even with taking on us, the Cheyenne East Thunderbirds that were going back-to-back state, at least title games, you never ran into that situation, even on the lower down teams, even when Evanston was a part of Class 4A.
I understand that, but see,
or Green River.
Here's the deal, though. That running clock happened, and again, let me give you the exact time when it happened. In the third quarter, so when Hagen had his 50-yard run, about 39 seconds left in the quarter.
Yeah, so
that's
when
it went nonstop. See, when a team is getting beat, similar to what happened with Cheyenne South or whoever, the point is usually you back off and you put in your sophomores and your juniors,
and that's what Chad Goff did.
But also on the other side, South will still keep their varsity members on there. They're first stringers.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really improve or even try to get a touchdown or two because the clock it never stops unless you call a timeout.
At that point in time, though, for that team, you've had enough looks for your varsity where, okay, here it is. It is at that point in time where it becomes that mercy rule here in Class 4A, or at least here in the state of Wyoming, probably in the same vein of every other probably state here in the U.S. There's got to be some rule in place for that. But, again, the running clock I have no issue with. Because again, if Cheyenne South, no discredit to the Fighting Bison. Hey, you got that touchdown early on in that contest. But other than that, though, it was a struggle that entire night.
It was a tough night. But also, too, then you look on the other side of the coin. For the underclassmen, the sophomores, the juniors, they're getting playing time.
That's, again, for Chad Goff, that's what you want.
Yeah, and these young men are trying to get varsity letters. And I recall a time when you were at Green River. I think it was Green River. Against Green River, you got in as a sophomore. I never played high school football as a sophomore. I had to go through the ranks. JV as a sophomore. My junior and senior year, I played on the varsity. You as a sophomore were playing in a varsity game. My point is, the younger underclassmen guys, they want to show the coach something too, and you can't do it. You're all of a sudden everything's all hurry up,
yeah.
Because the clock never stops. You throw an incomplete pass, the clock still runs. You run out of bounds, the clock still runs. And again,
it's a condensed down 12 minutes of what that fourth quarter was.
It was 12 minutes.
It was exactly 12 minutes.
It was 12 minutes and 39 seconds from the time that it was a running clock.
And again, that's 12 minutes of opportunities to run plays, get that system in place. Again, that's more than enough ample opportunity.
I disagree, and again, I don't like to see anybody get steamrolled. We knew this was going to happen.
If anything, of what you should be complaining about the running clock issue here in the state of Wyoming, or at least how it's established in high school sports, or at least high school football. The thing you should be complaining about is more so the discrepancy of talent here in Class 4A that we've been basically arguing for about a couple of years now, of saying we got an issue here. We have way too many blowouts here in Class 4A that it's getting to the point it's ridiculous. Again, nothing against Cheyenne South, but we've made that argument that South desperately needs to move down a class, without a doubt.
And again, we saw how many bodies they had suited up. They had 31. They had 31 healthy players on Friday. They had about a half dozen guys that were not suited up.
Yeah.
And Coach Gallis had explained to me on our pregame show why certain people weren't going to be suited up. And again, too, this is just this is the toll this team has taken in Class 4A football.
But it's a snowball effect with Cheyenne South, where those underclassmen, those 7th, 8th graders at Johnson Junior High that are moving over to Cheyenne South, they can see it. They got social media. Again, more than likely, they can read it, go through the grapevine, so to speak, to hear what's going across the way when they go to Cheyenne South and want to at least compete in football. They know that this team has had its struggles. As a human, as a impressionable up-and-coming teenager, you look into that and go, do I want to go out?
Do I
want
to go out there and get my brains beat out?
Do I want to consistently lose? Again, as a human, we don't want to lose.
No.
So it's a growing effect for Cheyenne South, of where you see the numbers trending downward. Dan Gallis has admitted to it. Mark Puev has admitted to that numbers are down there at Cheyenne South due to the fact that the teams are struggling here in Class 4A. It reinforces the argument that South is the one exception in Class 4A that needs to move down. You got to find some sort of exception, overlook the numbers that they have enrollment, because it's not there for the teams. Mm-hmm. It is clearly not there, and if we don't address it soon, the South is going to find themselves in this rut for a long time, unless something magical, something unique changes. And it could be a possibility. Who knows? Who knows what that magical formula is?
It's not going to be for a long time.
But this is it's a school. It's programs over there that are digging themselves in a deeper grave, and it's just hurting that long-term future for those athletic programs there at Cheyenne South.
You're not going to get an argument out of me on that one. I agree
but
with you.
It's something that we just see across Class 4A, where you have your upper echelon teams that reload every year.
Already said that.
The Sheridans of the world, Cheyenne East, Natrona. Thunder Base is now becoming that team. Right. Especially taking a lot of that talent from Campbell County, who used to be that upper echelon team.
Cheyenne Central is in that rebuild mode, and it looks like things are starting to come back for them. Casper, Kelly Walsh, the jury's still out.
You got to fight Natrona.
Laramie's down.
And Laramie, again, since I was in high school, Laramie has not been known as a football powerhouse. It's a school that's not known for.
Prior to you coming into this world, it was always Laramie, Sheridan, Cheyenne Central, and Cheyenne East was nowhere to be found.
And obviously, changing the guard has happened here in the state of Wyoming, clearly.
And of course, when Steve Harshman came to play at Casper Natrona, then they became a player. So and then Gillette, with South, they've been in business for a long time. They just can't seem to get out of the starting blocks. Yeah. And I feel bad. I really do. I like the kids.
And they put out strong.
They put out a tough effort.
They came out strong in that contest. You look at their first 3 offensive drives that did lead to one of them being a touchdown for the Fighting Bison. Again, their only touchdown of the night. But you look at the first drive where Cheyenne East made it look easy, 80 yards all the way down, about, minute 19 it took them. But for Cheyenne South, a lot of positives. Taking on that East High defense that has big issues wrapping it up and tackling. We've seen that in Week 0 against Campbell County. It's going to be the biggest Achilles heel, and it's going to affect them against this Natrona County team coming up this week. But
or will it? We don't know.
I think possibly, but it's something that's going to hurt them throughout this season if they don't figure out.
But also,
Chad
Goff said on the postgame show they're going to shore that up. That and penalties. That's what they need to shore up.
You need to, because this East team is far from perfect, but if they can get that underway, get it squared up, This is a formidable outfit in Class 4A without a doubt. But for Cheyenne South, taking advantage of that, being a run first team, Cheyenne South made it across at least into East High territory a couple times before stalling out on one or penalties backing them up to the point where it was 4th and 30, or again around that mark for Cheyenne South where they had to punt the ball away. But you look at, I do believe on that third offensive possession, one big throwing play out of nowhere by Cheyenne South led into they're eventually scoring touchdown. The only score
in the 4-yard touchdown. The thing,
but again, in those first 3 drives early in that contest, South looked like they could give East at least good fight.
At least through about the first quarter and a half. But total yards.
But I think numbers also too caught up with South of where
again
they were getting tired,
going both ways, and again lack of bodies. South on the night had roughly about 200 total yards, and again you throw out the fourth quarter because hardly anything happened in the fourth quarter. It just it was like bang zoom, you're on the field, you're off. So and then East had about 460 yards. I will salute the Thunderbirds. 8 consecutive drives that netted touchdowns. And I mean, they were good drives.
Yeah.
Good drives, or you had a
that's something unbelievable, and it's nothing that you're taking on Cheyenne South against any high school opponent. That's unbelievable.
I mean, you had the Buell 60-yard pass to Schroeder. You had Anderton for 46 yards. You had the Hagen run for 50 yards. I mean, yeah, they were big blasts, but also, too.
It was quick, too. They were quick strikes.
Yeah, 24-yard pass from Buell to Miller. Rail had a 23-yard pass, a 4-yard pass from Buell to Miller. Anderton, a 70-yard run. By the way, Christian Anderton, 11 carries on the night, 148 yards. Again, East had about 222 yards passing. They had about almost 240 on the ground.
So even.
Yeah, so
nice
it was
even spread team.
A very balanced attack. The only thing that I question, and I really shouldn't even say anything, because Buell was 13 of 16 on the night. That's a pretty damn good night. 222 yards. The one play I think of, and I remember against Thunder Basin, even though we didn't cover that game, he threw the pick 6. And there was that one where he tried to throw off his back foot. He tried to sling it sidearm like a.k.a. Matthew Stafford. And if the South High linebacker would have caught that would have been another pick 6.
Yeah.
It went through his hands. And that's one of the things I think he needs to shore up. He doesn't need to force an issue. And, again, he's got a strong arm. He's a smart kid. But if he's just got one negative out of the 99 positives, it's just that when he throws off his
he
back
has still
foot.
time to learn. Obviously, he's still, I do believe, junior at least for this season. Again, he's still got one more year to kind of improve on things and learn.
He's probably one of the best that have donned the football jersey there at Cheyenne. Yeah, there was Tavis Bartlett. You go through. All the quarterbacks, all the quarterbacks that I've seen over the years, but he's one of the best. He's got pure talent at that quarterback position.
Well, at least with that contest, Cheyenne East getting the victory 55-7. East moves to 3-1 here in Class 4A as it is Week 3, Game 4 here, at least in the state of Wyoming. Cheyenne South still winless. They're the only Class 4A team they yet to get a victory on the board. They are 0-4 after Friday's contest. Cheyenne South, again, 3 straight games there at Fightin' Bison Stadium for this Friday. Cheyenne South hosts Rock Springs.
Yeah.
Again, could they be competitive? I don't know. I really don't know. I thought they were going to be competitive against Kelly Walsh. Rock Springs is a pretty talented team. Rock Springs took it to Kelly Walsh 22-3 this past Friday. It's going to be another hill to climb for Cheyenne South to get that first victory this season. It might be a big hill to climb this entire season, 2019 campaign for South to get a victory, because right now it's getting a little thin on opportunities to get those victories.
Yeah,
especially against now looking, you can't even pencil in for Cheyenne South, who got their victory last year against Campbell County. You can't even pencil that in right now.
The Camels all of a sudden have started to find a little bit of offense. They still give up a lot of points, but and again too, conditions out at Risky Field. We saw how they were with Sheridan and Cheyenne Central, so they weren't the greatest. And it looks like Campbell County, especially late in the game, started putting it together. But your window of opportunity for picking up that victory getting very thin. Rock Springs, no, not going to happen. I think your best opportunity for Cheyenne South, and hopefully they get everybody healthy by that game, that would be against Laramie. I think
Laramie, good opportunity.
Laramie is the weakest of the bunch right now.
And you could against Campbell County. Campbell County, though, they're looking a bit better than they were last season.
They got to go up to July.
Yeah, they got to travel. That's the only issue, but they can be competitive. I think South can still be competitive against the Camels, can be competitive against Laramie. We'll see what happens with the Plainsmen coming up this Friday.
With South High, they got to get Alex Soto, dressed. He's got to get that, and I hope that shoulder injury is one that's not going to keep him down the rest of the season. The other young man that had the concussion protocol, these are guys that are starters that need to get on the field. We'll come back and we'll talk about Cheyenne Central, or should we keep it here real quick and talk about Cheyenne Central before we go to the break?
Let's take a break and then we'll talk more Class 4A, recap some scores, and also talk 2A and 1A as well.
All right, we'll be back after this quick timeout right here at 1480 KRAE.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
To be your fullest self, you gotta eat like it. Top off your tank with all your faves, or dig into 3 new items in our new Full-Up menu at Taco John's. When you're not taking any guff from your hunger, get the Boss Burrito or Boss Bowl's bigger flavors. Or go for the Sausalada Enchiladas bold, saucy style. And don't forget the better bites of the aerodynamic Taco Perfecto. Never run on empty with the new Full-Up menu. Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better. At participating locations.
Cheyenne Urological has been the cornerstone of urinary care to Cheyenne and its surrounding communities for over 20 years, with doctors Bryant, Everett, Gajewski, and their highly trained staff providing top-quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence. Cheyenne Urological is now offering cutting-edge robotic surgery. So call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131 for compassionate, expert urinary care. That's 635-4131.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
First Tier Bank is proud to team up again with the Wyoming chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. You're invited to join and participate in the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer event on Saturday, September 28th. Registration begins at 10:30 in the morning at Lions Park at the South Picnic Shelter. For more information, contact Janet Lewis at 307-287-6569 or go online to alz.org/walk to learn more. We'll see you Saturday, September 28th at Lions Park for the Walk to End Alzheimer's, brought to you by the Wyoming chapter of the Alzheimer's Association and First Tier Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys heard only right here features Sailor Jerry Spiced Rum, 1.75-liter bottle, $20.49. Crown Royal Original Apple, Maple, or Vanilla, 750 milliliter bottle, $16.49. And Michelob Ultra, 24-pack, 12-ounce cans, $24.29. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Well, the winds for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 77, mostly clear for tonight with our low down to 45 degrees. Continued sunny for tomorrow. We're calling for a daytime high of 77. Mostly clear Tuesday night with our low down to 44. And for Wednesday, sunshine, and we're calling for a daytime high near 70.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today as we look at the Class 4A standings. Thunder Basin on top right now. They are 4-0. Three-way tie for second place, which will have some changes after this weekend's action. Sheridan and Natrona County, East all at 3-1. Central and Rock Springs are knotted at 2-2. Of course, Central owns the tiebreaker for Rock Springs. Campbell County, Laramie, and Kelly Walsh at 1-3. And Cheyenne South at 0-4. The Indians picked up a huge win at Risky Field, 45-22 this past weekend. Now, again, this one pretty much was over at halftime before the lightning delay again. And, again,
that game did it get over again? Started at 7, but did it get done until, 10-ish? 10:30?
It was late. But, I mean, the Indians had a 38-0 lead late into the second quarter. Then Campbell County on a 37-yard run with Caden Rice, I do believe his name is. He takes it in for the touchdown to make it 38-7. So it gives the Camels a little bit of
glimmer of hope, but nothing.
It gives them a little as they headed into the locker room. But then it just kind of, once you have that lightning delay, and you saw that as well as I did in the Sheridan Central game, not so much that. It's almost like you become a little lethargic because you're sitting.
I don't know about that because that's where we saw Sheridan pick things up after that, at least halftime.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking the delay. You're laying around in the locker room.
Like I said, again, I don't know what you're trying to draw on with that one. It's a situation where I'm not gonna agree with you because we saw at least what you're talking about, a complete difference in that Sheridan contest where that break was enough for basically Ben to break down and go, hey, we need to figure out why
Sheridan came out a little better than Cheyenne Central, and again, Central came out of the locker room.
They were competitive. I mean, it's not like they roll over and die, but Sheridan found that quote unquote spark by that lightning delay.
Well, the Indians got outscored in the second half, 14-7. Okay. So, again,
was it the lightning delay, or is it more so that they were up 38-7, became a little complacent on the football field of saying, "Hey, we got this. Don't need to worry."
I can't answer. I won't answer the question or speak for Central. But anyway, bottom line is they pick up a big win against the Campbell County Camels, so they go to 2-2 right now. They'll sit in that number 5 hole. I think that's a very good possibility that Central could end up in the number 5 slot for the playoffs. And I would not want to be the number 4 team taking on Cheyenne Central. I have a feeling that all of a sudden now with the system in place now for 2 seasons, and all of a sudden that line is starting to help out Dawson McCleary on the offensive side. On the defensive side, they're starting to shut down things.
But to be fair, again, if you go off of what the standings are and the rankings as well, again, in theory, you would be taking on Natrona County if you're Cheyenne Central going up to Casper Natrona for that contest. We still have yet to see that battle, those two teams. Again, let's be honest. You can't disrespect Natrona County. You can't disrespect Steve Harshman, what he's going to do, especially up there in Casper.
Well,
they have a huge advantage.
And we're going to see what happens with East this weekend as they've got Natrona.
Okay, East, we're going to see that when we get that battle, at least the head-to-head matchup between East and Central. I think East should take care of business in that crosstown rivalry. I think East, talent-wise, has more to kind of at least hold above Cheyenne Central at this point in time.
But what have we said about Central? They're going to be a work in progress.
They're working. Again, they're
every weekend
upwards.
They're going to get
I'm just
better.
saying, come playoff time, if we're looking that far ahead, as we got plenty of football still left, 4 versus 5, Central, you got to go up to Casper to take on Natrona County. Again, Natrona that put up 44, at least against Laramie this past Friday, a Natrona County team that can score. That could keep pace if that offense of Central, at least, again, who put up 45 and is trending upwards as well, they can match it score for score.
And what do you think Central can do against Laramie? I think Campbell County is better than Laramie. I don't think Laramie's all that hot. Even though they got a win, I don't think they're all that good. They struggled against Kelly Walsh. Central punished. Excuse me, East punished Kelly Walsh.
I don't know what
Excuse me. So Kelly Walsh.
Yeah, because we still have yet to get to Central.
We'll have that.
Because again,
we'll have that next weekend. But again, you got Laramie coming in. It's the natural rival for Cheyenne Central.
It's the old school rival.
The old school rival, and I think if they could put up Look at the numbers they put up against Rock Springs. Look at the numbers they put up against Campbell County. I think they're going to equal.
But again,
they're going to equal what they put up against Campbell.
Friday is not a guarantee. Anything can happen.
I agree.
In
I think Coach Apodaca has at least that offense now kicking.
Yeah, without a doubt. Central is that team that I anticipated in preseason to be that work in progress, surprise a few throughout at least Class 4A in 2019, and not saying that they're surprising Campbell County. Again, got the win against Rock Springs, surprising to me, so to speak, where I thought the Tigers were at least heading here in 2019. But for Central, you are on the right track at this point in time, and you're seeing favorable foes right now here in the middle of the season to kind of fine-tune things. Again, when you're seeing Rock Springs, Campbell County, you're going to see Laramie this Friday. We'll have that game, and then also, too, when you go up to Casper Kelly Walsh, you got 4 straight games where you got very beatable teams right in front of you if you're the Indians.
My prediction right now, as I look at the remainder of the schedule for Central, I see them above 500 heading into the playoffs.
I think by after Kelly Walsh, you should see this team 4-2, where they still need to face East. Probably going to be 4-3 in that matchup. You still got to take on Natrona County. You might be 4-4 there,
and then you finish up with South 5-4.
Yeah,
that's the worst they could do.
I think that's a good probable for Cheyenne Central. I think they could finish 5-4 without a doubt. Could they sneak one against East? Possibly. Again, rivalry games are so wacky, even in high school football compared to at least collegiate, where things can happen. Wacky things can happen. Could Laramie shock Central, where, again, this Laramie plays with a team that has nothing to – again, a team that's have their backs against the wall. They got nothing to lose, so to speak. They're going to toss out all looks in all shapes and sizes at you. Could Laramie, find a way to get Central to play down to them and then take advantage of that? Sure. Look what happened last year. Laramie won in Laramie.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think, like I said, I think we're starting to see a resurgence of, again, powerhouse football happening at Cheyenne Central. Shore up the defense a little bit, and I think this is going to be a good football team. Cheyenne East Thunderbirds, yeah, what we saw on Friday, again.
It's not a perfect team, but it needs a little bit more
work on the penalties, and like you said, work on the tackling a little bit. And offensively, though, you cannot find a lot of flaws. That offensive line, and again, give the offensive line its due. It's opening holes for Anderton. It's giving Buell. Buell had plenty of time to throw the football against Cheyenne South.
And again, South, smaller team, struggles to at least get past that offensive line against most teams. It is not the greatest litmus test for Cheyenne East.
They did very well against Thunder Basin, too, because they did put a lot of points.
Yeah, they were competitive. Cheyenne East has proven that they are for at least a competitor.
And at Casper Kelly Walsh, there was no way.
Kelly Walsh, we know, is, at least as a team, outside of them getting the victory against Cheyenne South, as kind of anticipated that they would. Kelly Walsh is, again, not a good, at least, litmus test for Cheyenne East. Sure, you went up there and took care of business as you should. That was basically it. East, you did what you were expected to. Congrats, you got it done. But now you're going to get tested once again against Natrona County, as Chad Goff talked with you on the postgame. Hey, now it's rivalry. You are preparing, it's the kind of unnatural rival, but it is two teams that have battled pretty hard for, I think for a majority of at least Chad Goff's career. I go back to some of the infamous, Natrona County East games back in those late 2000s, and here it is continuing here in 2019 where it's been battles. It is that kind of gleaming, it's almost Casper versus Cheyenne.
Well, and you got two coaches that would about 30, 37, 38, 39 years of head coaching experience between the both of them.
All I'm saying, though, is coming up this Friday.
In this league.
What I'm saying, coming up this Friday between Cheyenne East and Natrona County, is it's another big test. What is East made of? Because Natrona, let's be honest, the Mustangs, they'll make you pay for those missed tackles. They're going to make you pay for those penalties. I said that at least on Friday's contest against Cheyenne South, that East, you can get away with it against the Fight Bison. You can get this. You can get away with this team.
And they're going to see Graydon Buell for the first time because Buell did not play last year. Chance Allmiller played against them in the playoffs. East did see. They in the regular season they saw Buell.
Did, yeah.
But they're going to see a more improved Graydon Buell. See, and again too, we go back to that semifinal game last year, the playoffs. The better team did not win. Natrona got a couple 3 breaks at the end that helped them win.
But they took advantage of it.
I understand that East did not help themselves. And Miller, I thought, did a really good relief job.
That's why I keep saying with Natrona County, this is a team when it smells blood in the water, they go for it. Yeah. And that was going back to last year's semifinal contest against Cheyenne East up there in Casper. It's a team that took advantage of miscues by Cheyenne East. It's a team that smelled blood and went, all right, we're gonna make you pay for this, and they did. Well, talk about that fourth quarter, unbelievable comeback that the Mustangs managed to pull off there against Cheyenne East in that semifinal. Again, you're defending for a state champion, Natrona County Mustangs. Well, let's not forget that too.
And the Mustangs and with East, this could be a game, and it looks like weather conditions are going to be pretty decent. I would say that who has the football last may win this thing. I mean, could be. This is how competitive this game will be.
I would not be surprised at that point, but it is Cheyenne East. That is the big thing, is you got to work on at least wrapping up, getting those tackles on the defensive side, and those penalties. They're going to hurt you in this contest coming up this Friday if you don't have it kind of squared up or at least improved upon somewhat from what it's been like the past couple of contests for Cheyenne East.
All right, a couple other games, too, we want to mention. I know probably the Bronx will want to forget, but the Buffalo Bison, which has been a good outfit for years and years and years.
They're also number one in Class 2A.
Yeah, so. I mean, and they ran all over the Bronx on Friday night. With
in Burns as well. So.
And then the Pine Bluffs Hornets had the Cyclones, the Southeast. A competitive game, but unfortunately the Hornets couldn't get it done.
Yeah, Pine Bluffs right now sit 0-3. They are 0-2 in conference. They're in Class 1A. You look at for Burns, they're in 2A, the Eastern Conference. Burns sits at 1-2 overall. They are 0-2 in conference. So for the Laramie County teams, having a bit of struggles this season as well. Burns, again, 1-2 under at least second-year head coach Brad Morrison. Will Gray, head coach for Pine Bluffs. It's very interesting of seeing what the Hornets at least are right now in 2019. You talk about where we're talking about discrepancy in Class 4A. Talk about a team that's kind of fallen, or at least a school that's fallen from grace, especially on the football side of things, where we were talking, a couple of years ago, team that was anticipated to go a three-peat possibly in state championship games. State championship titles for Pine Bluffs have now become not so much at least a laughing stock there in Class 1A, but it's a team that is trended far, far well below expectations of just what they were a couple of seasons ago.
And again, too, it's the numbers. It's the numbers game that comes out.
Well, when we talked with at least head coach Gray in the preseason before we got underway here in 2019, he said numbers were good.
One injury.
Yeah, without a doubt. In 11 man, yeah, again, in some of those smaller communities, yeah, without a doubt. But, that's going to affect any team. That's going to affect a Bighorn, a Southeast, whoever it is. But it's just a situation for Pine Bluffs. It's more on my end and also, too, here in Laramie County that you hold that team kind of to that higher standard of what have they done in recent years. Again, that kind of old adage of what have you done for me recently? Well, this team was one of the top dogs in Class 1A. Have now kind of fallen off of grace. What we saw last year, again, trending downwards in 2018 to now here in 2019, it's been a big struggle.
Yeah, and hopefully they can shore some things up, but they're running out of weeks, as they say. All right, we do need to take a timeout, and when we come back, press conference time, as we will listen to the head man at the University of Wyoming, Craig Bohl, after the Cowboys' 24-21 loss at Tulsa to the Golden Hurricane. We'll be back after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, The Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
At Platte Valley Bank, we love to see our customers come through the door. Well, we know life can be busy and you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking products with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, mobile deposit, and now digital wallet. At Platte Valley Bank, you can manage your money how you want, when you want. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC. Did you know that in rural areas of Laramie County, electricity is reliable and affordable because of High West Energy? Based in Pine Bluffs, High West Energy is an electric co-op owned by the 10,000 customers we serve, and that includes F.U. Warren Air Force Base and 20 subdivisions around Cheyenne. For more than 75 years, High West has been proud to play a part in the steady growth and economic development of this region while also contributing to local nonprofits, charities, and civic organizations. The message is simple: drive sober or get pulled over. If you drink and drive, remember it's illegal and it can cost you your freedom or worse, your life. It's been determined that a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or more can impair you considerably when you are behind the wheel. Financially, it can devastate you if you get arrested. More importantly, it could result in losing a friend or a family member. That price is too high to pay. Call a designated driver after enjoying a night out and get home safe. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds. The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Well, the wise for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 77, mostly clear for tonight with our low down to 45 degrees. Continued sunny for tomorrow. We're calling for a daytime high of 77. Mostly clear Tuesday night with our low down to 44. And for Wednesday, sunshine, and we're calling for a daytime high near 70.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. After reviewing the tape, spent a lot of hours analyzing where we're at. The game played out exactly how I thought it would. It was going to be a hard-fought game, probably come down to a play or two here or there. I thought Tulsa's a good football team. I think we're a good football team. We battled. We did start out fast, and that's been a point of emphasis. So that was a positive, but we certainly had a long period of time where we just couldn't get much going offensively. You know, we changed quarterbacks and tried to go through our playlist. I think we came up with some good answers, and it was good to have Sean back in there. I thought when he came back in, we had a little bit of a spark. Certainly it was a physical game. We've got quite a few guys that are banged up. Some status of some guys has been determined, but some of it's going to be almost until game time decision. So we're sitting at 3-1. We started conference play. UNLV's had a bye week. Coach Sanchez does a great job with their program. I know they came off I thought was really an excellent performance against Northwestern, and they came up a little bit short. But we're anticipating a great effort by our players, and hopefully, I really want to say thanks once again to all the Wyoming fans that showed up down in Tulsa. I thought we had a great contingent, and I know we've had great crowd support, and so hopefully we have another great home showing by our fans. So at this time, I'll open up to any questions anybody may have. Yes, Davis. Yeah, I think Logan Harris, unless something miraculously happens, he's going to be fine. But he had a concussion, and everything else was cleared. But he's still a little bit behind from anything to where we would think we'd have him this week. I think also Alonzo Velasquez will not play this week unless something does change between now and this afternoon. The initial response I got, I think he's getting an MRI. They're going to check on his knee, and we'll see how that goes. Tyler Hall did have a concussion, but he's going through the protocol. We'll find out a little bit more. We may have him back. And so I think that's maybe there's some. Trey Smith will be out for, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks. So, yes. Yep. Other questions? Okay.
After watching the video, the secondary still giving up a lot of plays, a lot of yards. What do you think's been their biggest bugaboo, I guess, and especially with so much pressure from the defensive line?
Right. Well, we've had a couple busts that we're going to continue to clean up. Last year we had some really experienced safeties, and we've got some younger guys, but I think that they're making some plays. However, there were too many big plays that happened, particularly on the last drive. I do think the Tulsa quarterback is an excellent quarterback. After a while, we did generate some pressure, but we were out on the field too long. I think we got fatigued. Then there's a couple things. First of all, we need to look at what we can do defensively to get off the field. I think there was a stretch during the course of the game where we were not coming up with stops. And then on the flip side, offensively, we need to stay up. There was a long period of time where we just weren't moving the football. So I think fatigue came into play. We're thin at those spots, but the guys are battling. What has become apparent is our takeaways have dropped. And, I talked to the defensive staff for a team to throw the ball 50 times and for us not to have an interception. I think unacceptable would be maybe too strong of words, but certainly not to our liking. We've got to be better ball hawks and come up with the football. The quarterback, like I said, was good, but we need to come up with a couple more picks, and I think that'll have an impact on changing field position. Yes.
Sort of following up on that, you guys are top 5 nationally in sacks. So how do you balance, I guess, bringing the pressure with the risk on the back end if you don't get there sometimes?
Some of it is the type of pressures that you dial up. There's all kinds of different pressures that you do have. What was encouraging was we were able to get into, our up package where you see a lot of guys up on the line of scrimmage and then doing a lot of different things, and that poses problems with the offensive linemen and opposing quarterbacks. Thought during the course of this game we were able to get to that a lot more, but you get into, are you going to have a single high safety to protect the middle of the field? Are you going to get into zero pressure? Are you going to get into bringing 5 and 3 men underneath and zone concepts? So there's all those different things, and we weigh those things out before we call them. Yes.
Coach, can you talk about what you're looking for on the right side of your offensive line? I mean, Logan and Alonzo played a lot in their careers here. So what do you look for with guys stepping into those roles?
Well, Frank and Patrick are guys. Patrick has played more than Frank. We've worked those guys in practice. We're going to need to get some consistency, movement at the line of scrimmage, and then we've got to be able to protect our quarterback too. And so kind of a trifecta there. We feel confident with those guys. It's going to be their opportunity. Frank played quite a bit in the game, and so did Patrick. And so it's going to be their opportunity. One of the reasons why we try to build depth is for these times right now. Yes. You're dang right. That was a decision. That was a decision I made. We needed to shake things up. I thought there was complacency, you try different things, but there was a message sent. This is not all on our quarterback. If we're taking him out, that's a message to everybody. We better get our butt in gear. And Sean didn't like being pulled out, and that's okay. This is not about saving people's feelings, but, I think he and I had a good conversation afterwards, and there was no doubt that our offense got a little bit re-energized, and we need that. We need to play on a sharp edge. When you look at margins for victories in this game coming up, just like the last one, they're close margins. And, 3-1, that sounds okay. 3 more yards, we're 4-0, and that's what we're striving for. I think a couple things helped Sean. First of all, the way he started out the game, that's the Sean that I have seen. And then, to be pulled and then have another quarterback inserted and then be reinserted and then come up with some big plays. I think that's an indication that, he's got confidence. The thing that I'd like for people to realize, though, is he played 2.5 quarters last year. I mean, we have a young redshirt freshman quarterback, and maybe because of some of the success and our hopes, we're thinking, okay, we've got the next Josh Allen who's played a lot of football, and he's not there yet, but he's getting there, and certainly the experience for him to come back. I also think the last play is an experience for him. Ball security. You're making a play, but you gotta tuck that ball away, and so he's going to learn from that as well. Yes, Kevin. Wow. Solomon Bird, he had a high ankle sprain, and the more that he's interjected, we have what's called a factor score when a guy goes in and what kind of a factor score he has, and he's got one of the best factor scores on the football team. And so he's disruptive. He plays hard. Most of the time he's in the right spot, not always, but we think he's got a really bright future, and it's been good to have him out there. By the way, we do think we'll have Josiah Hall this week. We'll know a little bit more as we go.
For your number 3 back, will you stick with Brett? Do you address Alfonso?
Well, a lot of that's going to be a work in progress. We'll know a little bit more. I just had a long conversation with Gordy. So I would venture to say we'll address Alfonso. How much he'll play, I don't know. Some of it's going to come back to how X responds. He's had an ankle sprain. We played him some, but he wasn't himself. And then we'll just see how the whole grouping shakes out. But we're concerned about that spot. Yeah.
Halliburton seems to be extended himself a little bit more this year, visibly at least. Have you seen a lot of growth in him?
He's a tackling machine, and during that game too, we exposed him out in space one-on-one, and we thought he performed really well. And he is an experienced player. Rome is inexperienced, but Halliburton is, and so it's been great to see him out there. And I don't know how many tackles he has down right now, but he's got a bunch, and he keeps on mixing it up out there. Now, he's banged up, but he keeps on practicing, and he'll be serviceable, more than serviceable this Saturday. Yes?
Coach, the growth of Chad Moore has been pretty impressive. What have you seen out of that kid?
Chad, first of all, he's very bright. He's been able to play both positions, Mike and Will, which is not easy. And so we've been able to insert him. He's been playing probably in the upper 20s per game, and when he sees something, he goes. He's not timid. He really makes a great effort to try to get to the football, and it's been good to have him out there. And we think that the long-term outlook for him is really excellent. Yes, Davis.
Armani Rogers, does he remind you at all of Kelly Bryant for his size, his skill set?
I think he's rangier than Kelly. He does possess excellent speed, and he's 6'5", and so we've got our hands full with him. He's a heavily recruited player out of high school. Also, that combined with Williams, I think Williams is an excellent running back. Those two pose a big challenge for us. As you can see, I'm kind of nursing a cold and also yelling a lot Saturday, but thanks for bearing with me a little bit there. Yes.
How healthy is X? Do you expect him to?
I think he'll be 100%. Yeah. And we're going to need him to be 100%. Okay. Hey, thanks. Okay, thanks, Tim. I just want to commend Tim on his hairdo. It's kind of the same way. We're looking for Kevin to come along. I don't know if he'll do the same thing. But anyhow, okay, you're not going to do it. All right. Before I end, any questions for anybody on the conference call? Okay, hey, thanks, everybody.
Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Paisan cuisine served up 7 days a week over at Joe's Place. Check them out. Mondello's Pizzeria in the Greenway Commons. We also want to thank First Tier Bank directly across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Open Monday through Friday. Again, co-sponsors with the Alzheimer's Association and Alzheimer's Walk this Saturday, Lions Park at the South Picnic area. Lennox Auto Body over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Again, at Dunn Avenue, if you want the car or truck to look factory new, then you want Lennox Auto Body taking care of the damage, because that's what they do. They try to get it as perfect as they can, and for a quarter century they've been doing a pretty doggone good job over there at Lennox Auto Body on Dunn Avenue, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, where it's not clean until it's Lennox clean on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy over on Bluegrass Circle, same location as always, next door to Texas Roadhouse, open Monday through Saturday. Chick-fil-A also open Monday through Saturday, serving up breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and new to the menu. And a big hit, their mac and cheese also on the menu right now for a limited time. Their frosted caramel coffee. Windmill Delrange directly across from Powers Field and Menards. We want to thank Platte Valley Bank ×2 East Side locations. You're heading home, don't forget to stop in right there at the corner of College and Pershing. Of course, the original location on Vandehigh, open Monday through Friday. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. The 19's got to go. 20s are arriving as we speak. Great looking Kias right now. The 19s especially have a special price attached to them because they need to go. And AJ says when they need to move them out, they got to move them out. So get on it right now. Kick a few tires, take a test drive, take home the Kia of your dreams. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. And we want to thank Taco John's of Cheyenne. All over the place. You'll find them at the corner of Pershing and Ridge. You'll find them at the corner of Delrange and Ridge. You will find them on Yellowstone, downtown on Cary, and in the temporary locale. Yeah, the food truck over in the Outlaw Saloon parking lot as they continue to get the South Greeley Highway address refurbished and rebuilt for you. We get things underway at scoreboard time. It's being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We go to Nick.
LCCC athletics from this past weekend. We'll start with men's and women's soccer as they both had a pair of games on Friday and Saturday. Both taking on Northwest College on Friday and also to Central Wyoming College. These were both on the road. Similar, at least final scores as well too. At least seeing both teams in sync coming up this at least past weekend. But for LCCC men, they got a 6-1 victory against Northwest College. For the women, it was 6-0 for LCCC. For Saturday's games against the Central Wyoming College, it was 14-0 in favor of the men of LCCC. Same goes for LCCC women by a final of 14-0. So with the men, 2 victories this past weekend. They moved to 6-3 overall for LCCC women's soccer. They are 7-0-1, and they are still number 4 ranked in the nation. LCCC volleyball in action as well too, up in Torrington and also to Scottsbluff, Nebraska for the Wyoming tournament. 2 games on Friday, where one was a loss against Northeastern Junior College, a win against Colorado Northwestern Community College, and then Saturday's games against Salt Lake Community College and Western Nebraska Community College, they were both losses. So with that being said, for LCCC women's volleyball, they are 2-16 overall.
To the National Football League, it is Monday Night Football night tonight. It's from FedEx Field. In the nation's capital, the Redskins will play host to the Bears. The Bears 1-1, and the Skins are 0-2. Major League Baseball, final week of the regular season, and still some things to decide. Phils and the Nationals, they'll be at Nats Park in D.C. So you got the Nats at home, you got the Redskins at home. I'm telling you, it's going to be a busy night.
I doubt anyone shows up to FedEx, though.
You don't think?
Okay, yeah, again, the Redskins, I think those fans are probably tuned in because at least the Nationals are playoff bound. Redskins aren't going to be this year.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see what it's like on TV tonight. Orioles and the Blue Jays. Now, that's where you shouldn't show up at. That'll be in the Rogers Center. Oh, Orioles 105 losses this year. Brutal. Red Sox and the Rays in the Trop. Rays still trying to get into that number one wild card spot, but they trail the Athletics by a couple. Marlins Mets tonight at Citi Field in New York. Cardinals still holding on to that lead in the NL Central Division. They will be at Chase Field. They got a date with the Diamondbacks in Phoenix. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
At Mountain Dew, we say here's to the doers. The people who know you gotta do what you gotta do.
Who do it big.
Then do it bigger.
Who don't just watch.
So if there's something you want to do, here's a little advice.
Grab yourself an ice-cold Mountain Dew.
And get to it.
That's right. Get going.
Get started.
Stand up.
Jump up.
Grab hold of it.
Throw down on it.
Run with it.
Now. Right now.
Not tomorrow.
Not next week.
Next month.
Next year. Work it out.
Grind it out.
Get stoked.
Get passionate.
And do it.
Do it till it hurts.
Do it till you can't.
Do it till you've done it.
And most of all, don't ask how other people do it.
Don't ask how you should do it.
Don't ask if it can be done.
Don't ask if it's ever been done.
Because there are those who don't.
And those who do.
At Mountain Dew, we say, let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Do the do.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Led Zeppelin. Good to get the blood flowing here. Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk today. As we wrapped up hour number 1, we heard from head coach Craig Bohl of the Wyoming Cowboys, who dropped to 3-1 this season. Now, I will say this.
And as I'll keep on saying, a very fortunate 3-1 for the Cowboys.
We could say what we want to say, but this one they let slip away. Not because of the fumble at the end of the ball game. Yeah, that contributed, but they came out strong.
Yeah, for once.
And then petered out.
Yeah, for once they came out strong, and then for at least majority of the contest looked pathetic.
But injuries also took its toll.
Well, and again, we're at that point in time where you're going to run into injuries. Wyoming is not the only team, the first team to get injuries this season, so it is something you got to deal with, and that's why you get those depth. That's why you got that depth. You address that. But it is, yes, there was a lot of factors in this game, a lot of issues with the Cowboys in this contest that led to this loss. Again, 7 points to start out. It was 14-7 at halftime. Then it became at least 17-7. Cowboys finding at least 2 touchdowns there in the fourth quarter, but Tulsa to solidify with the 1 touchdown again as Tulsa comes away with the 24-21 victory. Tulsa 2-2 in at least in the American Conference. Wyoming Cowboys, as we mentioned, 3-1 so far.
And in case, the old cliche, did the better team win on Saturday?
I think so.
No, not really. I don't think so.
Tulsa was favored in this contest as we mentioned, 3-1.
Let me finish where I was going with all of this. I sat here and I've griped and moaned about the passing game being garbage. Well, Chambers put the ball in the air, and again, I will go both ways.
And this is bizarre to see.
He was 9 of 25. That's 36%. This is like high school numbers. And then Vanderwall came in as a change of pace. He went 1 for 6, and then Conway even threw the football. But here's the deal. I saw 2 things in this game. A, Chambers needs a softer touch. A. B,
still a young guy.
The wide receivers, I've seen better hands on a clock.
Yeah.
His receivers are really letting him down.
And I absolutely agree with you. With the Wyoming Cowboys, we knew that was going to be an issue, and it's basically becoming true here in 2019 of what we're seeing right now. Sean Chambers doesn't really have the complete talent out there, but also, too, as kind of Craig Bohl alluded to in the press conference, it's something that we've kind of reinforced talking about 2019 for Wyoming. The guy's still young. He's still developing. Guy who just got to know the system this year in this offseason. He's still got many years to at least develop, or at least still a lot of time to figure out, get that soft touch, work on that accuracy, work on, reading the field, looking at levels, going up ladders. It's a situation for Sean Chambers. Again, you look at what happened this past Saturday, 9 of 25, 193 yards. I mean, at least of the 9 completions, but near 200 yards, not too bad. Not too bad for him, with also 1 TD as well, too. Again, Sean Chambers as well, running it as we've kind of been accustomed to and what we expect out of him. 11 carries, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns for himself, with the longest of being 33 yards for Sean Chambers. And also, too, you got to look at that Sean did also, too, have that 1 fumble in that contest. But overall,
at the wrong time.
I mean, for Sean, though, you look at those numbers, they're improving. I mean, again, Sean Chambers, I'm not holding to the same extent as Josh Allen. He's not a Josh Allen at this point in time. Could he be? Could he get that talent if he works on fine tuning? Again, give him time.
No,
get that throw. He has the power. He's
got
to work on the accuracy.
He's got a lot of tools, but
he's got to work on. He's got to work on ability. Mm-hmm. He's got to work on at least maneuvering out of that pocket, because he's going to have to with that offensive line. If he works on that, as we're kind of seeing, he's doing it in small tidbits, he can get it done. Well, but again, the guy's still young. No, I'm not expecting. When we headed into 2019, was I expecting this guy to put up Josh Allen, numbers or styles, or again be that next coming quarterback for the Cowboys? No.
No, and again too, any time that we can see improvement from Sean Chambers, that's great.
And
but
you did slightly.
But what we're seeing is both bad. He and his team. I'm telling you, some of these guys can't catch a cold. That's how bad it is. These are wide receivers that can't catch. You got to be kidding me. And again,
10 receptions for 32 attempts. Again, some of those were kind of, at least as we talk with Sean Chambers.
He got hurried one time.
Yeah.
Throwing the football. That's all. He got hurried one time. He's throwing on the run.
He does have issues, at least underthrowing or overthrowing. We've seen that many a time.
And guys that let it go right through their hands.
Yeah, that's true.
But here's the thing, too.
It's kind of a mixture of both. It does not fall all on Sean Chambers. It doesn't fall on the receiver.
It's a team problem.
Yeah, on the offense, you got issues all over.
And I've been sitting here griping about Vegan. Vegan opened it up a little bit.
He had to, because
I was not I cannot be disappointed in what I saw, except for the loss.
I think you would, at this point in time, for at least for Coach Vegan, you have to open up that offense because of how pathetic and predictable it is.
But here's the thing that I disagreed with you on when I said in the opening statement, the better team did not win. When you
I think so. I had Tulsa pencil in winning
I know,
this game.
but when you sack their quarterback 7 times.
Yeah.
Think about it, Nick. You have sacked him 7 times. You hurried him 7 times as well. And again, he put up the ball 50 times, Zach Smith. He was 25-50. He's only 50%, okay? His quarterback
for nearly 400 yards.
His quarterback rating is less than Chambers, but that's here nor there. But I mean, he was sacked. He was sacked 7 times. That tells me that the defense was getting through doing their job. Unfortunately,
well, okay. Here's your issue though, is because that defense is getting their job done. Go back to last year. Defense was getting the job done as well. But what happened throughout these contests that we saw in last season?
No support from the offense.
Yeah, defense was out there way too much than what the offense is producing. Again, a lot of 4 and outs, a lot of quick strikes. Here it is, one and done opportunities, and then the defense is out there to at least protect against.
And stop me if I'm wrong on this one. The Cowboys this last game against Tulsa were like a horse out of the gate. Boom. They were out. They were off and running.
Which was a rarity. We're expecting this team does not do anything in the first quarter. It takes them a full quarter.
They were off and running. Then they get onto the back stretch, and then they just kind of died.
Yeah.
Okay. Then all of a sudden they're coming into the home stretch, and then they're kicking it into another gear. This is what we need with the Cowboys. You can't play quarter 1 good and then take off quarters 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And then come back in the fourth
quarter.
quarter.
Well, that's what Craig Bull at least talked about in the press conferences. He felt like that offense was getting very complacent, so the changing of the guard to kind of awaken that team. That shouldn't be happening.
And it didn't do much better.
That shouldn't be happening overall, though. If you got an issue with your team doing that, being complacent, where you have to change the guard, at least changing of the QB or changing any personnel out there because it's becoming complacent, that's an issue. That's a big issue.
And again, too, it was one of those games where they let it slip away. I blame the Cowboys for losing that one. Offensively, too many bad passes, drop passes. There's no excuse for that. I don't blame Chambers for fumbling at the end. That happens.
Yeah.
Look what we saw yesterday with the 49ers, how bad they were fumbling the football.
They still got it done.
And they won. But in the case of Chambers, I'm frustrated,
Again, frustrated at what, though? This is a Cowboys team that I keep saying is fortunate enough to be 3-1.
And you know what? If they're going to be
you struggled at home against Idaho. You struggled at home against Idaho.
Won.
You struggled at Texas State. You won.
You won.
And you were fortunate enough to beat Mizzou on an off day.
You won after spotting them 14 points.
I'm just saying, this is a team that damn well could be 0-4 at this point.
This is a team that spotted Tulsa 17 points.
Yeah.
To drop down by 10, to rally in the fourth quarter.
But still came up 3 points short again in their first loss.
They came up short inside the red zone, inside the 5.
Again, Tulsa, who, in my opinion, probably not the greatest shakes, but now you compare the 2 wins for Tulsa, taking on Wyoming and taking at least with their other win against San Jose State. Tulsa's the greatest thing in NCAA football after you look the head-to-head matchups. Wyoming is defeated an SEC Mizzou team, and you look at what happened this Saturday with San Jose State defeating Arkansas, an SEC team.
But also,
Tulsa's got to be the greatest thing in the American Conference.
Nick, you gotta understand this, and sometimes that you don't understand. With the injuries that befell the Cowboys, and again, I'm not making excuses.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Without even
because again, you have certain guys that are just taking reps with the first team, and then you're bringing. I mean, you went down to your third running back in this game. He hadn't been taking reps with the first team. And again, you put him out there, and it's like, okay, there's going to be a blown assignment here and there. So, and again, I chucked some of this loss on the receivers. Damn it, catch the ball. That's what you got recruited for.
A receiver core that has not been anywhere impressive in the first 3 games of the season. You're expecting them to do what? Pick up the pace here at least here in week 4? It wasn't going to happen. You're insane to believe that. Again, an offense that is so one-dimensional where you're talking, hey, it was surprising that even Vegan went and at least expanded out, did some different looks here. In 25 attempts by Sean Chambers, go figure. 32 in total by at least the 3 different quarterbacks. Again, we'll include Austin Conway, who did have the one, at least incompletion in his 1 attempt. But other than that, though, again, is this surprising? Is it surprising that the wide receivers are having an issue? We've known that for 4 weeks now at this point in time. That's why I keep saying this Cowboys team, they are very lucky, very fortunate to be 3-1. They should be happy that they are 3-1 because this team easily could have been 0-4. Let's be honest.
Well, you
you got lucky against Idaho. Idaho had a shot there in the fourth quarter to win that contest.
I'm not gonna argue.
You had issues at San Marcos against Texas State. Texas State easily could have won that game. They were a few plays away from winning that contest. And then Mizzou. Mizzou clearly had an off day. Mizzou was not firing on all cylinders. You took advantage of a lot of their turnovers, which, again, give kudos to defense. Defense is doing their job right now. It's the same thing with what we had with 2018 with the Cowboys. We got it again in 2019. The Cowboys' defense is phenomenal. And I think without being said, you look at total sacks, I do believe on the season right now, 18 total. Again, you include with the 7 against Tulsa. I think of 2019, that staunch defense that had a lot of names, a lot of talent on, had 19 that entire season. Well, in Game 4, we're already 1 behind the season total of last year for the Wyoming Cowboy defense. So that defense is good. We know that. Defense is very good.
But you know what you
this
see
offense is the biggest Achilles heel.
And you know what I see here? And it's ironic because you have, 3 of them that are, I think, healthy? They're tight ends.
Yeah.
I know a couple of them had balls thrown to them, but if you go look at actual receiving, tight ends are not listed on the receiving part.
Yeah.
They're not catching footballs. You mean to tell me, Nick, that, and I'll use Harshman, You mean to tell me that Harshman is not getting open as he gets through that first initial block? We're seeing more even high school quarterbacks hitting tight ends along the seam.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that Chambers can't find one of those guys? I know when I know the one in the second quarter, he underthrew Harshman.
It's hard to believe that Sean Chambers is not finding these opportunities or getting that ball to on the seam in situations like that. It's hard to believe that. Again, Sean Chambers, it's not like this guy is now becoming, this is his second year being a quarterback. It's not a situation like that for the Cowboys. He's had time to get these looks in the high school ranks. That's why you talk about the receivers. Hey, you're supposed to catch a ball. That's why you got recruited. Same with Sean Chambers.
But he's not a good look off quarterback.
And again, I'll just say again to give him at least some leeway. He's still developing. He's still early in his career.
And again, I don't want anybody taking this wrong, but watch him. He doesn't look off. What he'll do is he'll look at 81, and then he sees that you're covered. He'll try to force it into the second guy.
Okay,
but he's not. He doesn't look off. He doesn't
I don't say that's a Sean Chambers issue, or it is an issue with him. But it's something that coaching staff needs to address. That needs to see. When you break down film, you basically go to Sean Chambers and go, well, why'd you throw there? Why'd you look there? Talk with the guy. Break down that film. Figure out why he's not looking at those targets. Why is he going and doing this, at least where he's breaking it down to
basically
one receiver, two receivers,
I know,
three
but he's
receivers.
basically going after number one.
I think, again, what you put this on, if anything at all, is you put it on that coaching staff. That is not teaching Sean Chambers those looks. We're not developing him.
But some of that should be natural. Again,
you would hope so. But again, we're showing that right now he needs that help.
I mean, and again too, in a situation, I go back to Joe Montana. Bill Walsh made him a great quarterback because of the way he could look off and go to three different guys.
Mm-hmm.
If Chambers could just get to that point where he looks at you and says, "No, I'm going to my secondary receiver."
Okay,
like he needs to stop just focusing.
He doesn't have that natural ability. You need that coaching staff to teach him then. That's what they're there. That's why they're paid.
And this is why he's technically still a rookie.
Yeah.
He's still a rookie. It's his first season. See, Vanderwall never had that opportunity last year either. Vanderwall was the same way. Even in this game, he's focused on, hey, I don't know what the pattern is, but it's like, hey, let's go. 81 is going to catch the football. That's what we called in the huddle. I'm going to you. Yeah, there's supposed to be a secondary receiver, but usually they're gonna go with the flood. That's how they're going to do it. So, again, I still look at Sean as a rookie, and if he could just, I guess the word would be, if he could just be comfortable back there. He probably will tell me, I feel pretty comfortable back there. But he doesn't look comfortable, especially when they got him on the run. But when he's in a straight drop back, he looks pretty comfortable.
Yeah. But when he is, it's very, at this point in time, seems like a rarity for one Sean Chambers. But again, even on the run, the guy he led in rushing as well too. He can use his feet. He is, again, even we saw that with Josh Allen with his time with the Wyoming Cowboys, where even if he got flushed out or had any issues with the breakdown of that pocket, he could move and he could run.
And even
Sean Chambers is that guy.
Even the commentators on the CBS broadcast like his arm. He's got a strong arm.
We've been saying that.
But they also know he's short arms too.
Yeah.
So I think, what we saw
this is stuff we've been saying since week one.
The thing with Sean, though, I think he's got to just stop focusing on that one guy. There's about 5 other guys on the pattern. You better be able to look, boom, boom, and get it out.
And what I'll say then is it's essentially to that coaching staff there at the University of Wyoming under Craig Bohl, teach the guy then.
Yeah.
If he's having this issue, something that we're discussing, why haven't you addressed it? Or at least where are we at of trying to get him at least that ability to work into that situation?
And some of those receivers better be getting on the jugs machine today and getting out there and catching about 80 passes.
I would hope so.
Oh, my. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back. We got more of Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words.
To be your fullest self, you gotta eat like it. Top off your tank with all your faves, or dig into 3 new items in our new Full-Up menu at Taco John's. When you're not taking any guff from your hunger, get the Boss Burrito or Boss Bowls bigger flavors. Or go for the Sausalada Enchiladas bold, saucy style. And don't forget the better bites of the aerodynamic Taco Perfecto. Never run on empty with the new Full-Up menu. Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better. at participating locations.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Brody inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
Relieve your stress. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. With the new Kia vehicle, you get one of the best warranties in America. The new 2020 Kia Sportage comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. With the 2020 Kia Sportage, you get a new updated exterior, plenty of standard technology, driver-assisted features, and 2 available engines with available all-wheel drive. Come into Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com and we'll make it easy. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or a retailer for details.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Well, the winds for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 77, mostly clear for tonight with our low down to 45 degrees. Continued sunny for tomorrow. We're calling for a daytime high of 77. Mostly clear Tuesday night with our low down to 44. And for Wednesday, sunshine, and we're calling for a daytime high near 70.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on the show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Before we head to the National Football League, Cowboys at home this Saturday evening, 6 o'clock kickoff, as they welcome UNLV in Mountain West Conference action for both teams.
Whiteout game, so encouraging all folks, or at least the University of Wyoming is, folks dress up all in white for their whiteout. It also, too, is Military Appreciation Day. I do believe at halftime they'll be honoring at least one Mad Dog, at least former equipment manager for the University of Wyoming. So a big day, big Saturday coming up there in Laramie, Wyoming.
Yeah, a Mad Dog, been there for a long time, and obviously you got to meet him here. What was at the NIT game that I first introduced you to him, right?
Sure. I do believe so, but again.
But then we went and saw him on Media Day. And
I mean, I meet so many people, or at least try to figure out so many names and faces and whatnot. But yes, I would say I officially met with him and at least talked with him pre our Media Day, at least back in August.
All right. So with that being said, we do have Pro Man tickets, my season tickets. So this will be on the west side of the stadium. Not bad seats. And again, for a 6 o'clock game, it looks like conditions aren't going to be bad this weekend.
Cooler than what it's
been.
Yeah,
but the 6 o'clock game, sun's going to be going down. So you bring a sweater, blanket, whatever you bring. But you should be able to enjoy the game rather comfortably. So we got 2 tickets to give away, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, we do have 2 tickets to give away, a pair to go see the Cowboys in UNLV this Saturday. Again, they're live at War Memorial Stadium. Also, 2, we do have available to us 1 Parky Pass to the Summit View lot, which today I've decided that we will give away with these pair of tickets because we've done it Tuesday, Wednesday. So how about first time this week? And then also, 2, on top of that, we'll give away a pair of goodies to go see our friends over at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Del Range and Wimmel. Again, that would be that mac and cheese combo. And also, 2, same with the caramel coffee as well. So chance to check that out. But thank you to all who did enter on the Facebook side of things, where we do have our contests for Wyoming Cowboy tickets, Cowboy basketball tickets. Even we'll have eventually Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo, LCCC tickets, and a few others in between as well. So again, thank you to all who have entered on that side, who've liked, commented, and shared the post that is pinned at the top of that page. Don't fret if you don't win today. We do have 3 more pairs of tickets that we will be giving away throughout this week here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. So as I give the Bowl of Awesomeness a nice little shake and at least shift around of the names for today, the winner of the pair, at least the prize pack that includes the pair of tickets, the Summit View Parky Pass, and the goodies Chick-fil-A will be 1 Cody Lips. Congratulations, Cody Lips. You are the winner of the prize pack. So I will contact you later after today's show of how you come by to the studio, pick up your prize pack, and go check out the Wyoming Cowboys this Saturday.
So bottom line is, if you didn't have any plans for Saturday, now you got plans.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were planning on buying tickets, don't do it. We're providing the tickets for you. And again, make sure you use those tickets. Do not let them burn.
And like I said, if you didn't win today, keep on entering in. You have 3 chances to win a pair of tickets, as we do have 3 pairs remaining, along with also 2 of the other pair of tickets. We will be pairing them along with the goodies of the Chick-fil-A. So don't fret if you did not win today. There are still 3 more opportunities for you to go check out the Cowboys this Saturday.
All right, let's talk football. NFL.
As we have been. I was like,
NFL football. And let's be real honest here.
Broncos are terrible.
They're not good. No, they've got problems, but they're not the worst 0-3 team. That belongs to Miami.
Well, yeah, that's without
awful.
a doubt. That's without.
But
being
again,
said,
as I said before, Joe Flacco, who has very little mobility, and it showed. The Packers are okay, but they got to get a running game. They're going to get beat by the good teams.
Yeah.
They're right now they're lucky they're going up against the likes of the Broncos. The Bears are not that good either. They beat a Vikings team that's probably their one impressive win.
Green Bay is surprising me being 3-0. I figured they were tripped up either against Chicago on the road or at home against Minnesota. But again, as much guff as we give to the Wyoming Cowboys being 3-0 or 3-1, for Green Bay, you're 3-0, you're undefeated. A win's a win. You got it done.
Yeah.
And you're again one of the few undefeated teams remaining in the NFL.
Joe Flacco sacked 6 times yesterday.
That offensive line, we've known it has issues, without a doubt. That offensive line is one of the worst probably in the NFL.
And it's ironic, too, because it was not a balanced attack, but they got about 140-some yards rushing. Flacco had about 213 yards passing. Then you subtract 52 yards of sack yardage, 6 sacks by the Packers. Do you think the Packers' defense was that great yesterday?
No.
It was okay.
It was, it's not the greatest thing on turf.
Again,
the
Broncos got problems.
27-16 in favor of the Packers. Packers go 3-0. Broncos 0-3. You look ahead of this contest. Denver back at home there at Mile High as they'll host the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's not a given. They beat Tennessee on Thursday.
Yeah, which is
that's not a given anymore.
This week for NFL has been so wacky of what has just happened. But we'll even talk about what Detroit did, a few other namesakes. But Broncos favored by 3 at least for that contest against the Jaguars. Again, possible first win on the season for the Denver Broncos, maybe, but it is not a guarantee, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jacksonville, that also, too, has off-field issues. Again, you're dealing with what's going to happen with Jalen Ramsey, who apparently did not show up to practice, who wants to be traded. So they're dealing with a little personnel problems out there. So we'll see if that becomes a distraction coming up this Sunday. But for Denver, good opportunity, a good chance to get their first win against Jacksonville at home. But will they? I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't have a good feel
but
on
so
this.
far, 3 games into this early 2019 campaign for Denver can solidify and say that this team is going to be that bad as people have predicted. this team will not finish above 500.
This is a team that lost to the Raiders, who got clobbered by Minnesota yesterday, 34-14.
Who got embarrassed by Kansas City, yes. Again, Broncos, outside of this Jaguars team, again, looking at their schedule, you go to L.A. to see the Chargers, home against the Titans. Again, Titans 1-2, but I still think Titans are, at least talent-wise, better than the Broncos. You host Kansas City after that one. At Indy to see the Colts, who are 2-1. Browns 1-2. We'll see. And then at Minnesota to take on the Vikings. So, and also, too, I'll even add on top of that, the Buffalo Bills. You got to travel up to an undefeated 3-0 Buffalo Bills team.
And, with the Bills yesterday, and they had, the Bungles. The Bungles aren't that good. Let's be real.
I'll just say that the Bills are beating the teams that they should.
I know. I watched this on the Red Zone yesterday. A lot of, especially when they get, inside. But, the Bills are okay. They're not great. Josh Allen.
Could the Bills beat the Broncos, though, coming up later this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. But anyway, and hopefully Josh Allen will be around. But I tell you what, he gets bounced around. He is a Timex watch. He's taken a licking and still is ticking thus far. Frank Gore, I like Frank Gore scored a touchdown, the winning touchdown, 14 carries, 76 yards. Again, moving right up the old charts.
Old school, hard-nosed running back, keeps on doing it well past what is kind of the prime of his career. Again, Frank Gore just finds a way to keep on going. Guy without a doubt.
Over 5 yards a rush. I mean, that's what you want. So we mentioned that the Dolphins are probably the worst team in football.
They had to take on Dallas. Dallas is a good
team. Cowboys are good. Yeah, I will give them that. Are they great? No, I'm not going to put
probably
them up. I'm not going
to
put them up there in the great part yet. They're very good. Let's see. What else did we have yesterday? I really am liking Jacoby Brissett with the Colts.
Yeah.
He seems to be more comfortable back there.
I think this is a game that tells at least two different tales of two teams of, the Indianapolis Colts, a team that after losing Andrew Luck, sorry, you had no shot here in 2019, just focus on 2020. Colts have been very impressive so far. They've kind of at least shook off, so to speak, one Andrew Luck and just said, hey, we're going to continue and we're still pretty darn good. The Atlanta Falcons, what a depressing just team. Again, Atlanta, they are well below my expectations.
And you got two great receivers on that team that
are going to waste.
Yeah. It did prove my point with the Ravens. I'm okay with that.
One's a stupid late touchdown by Baltimore that kind of messed up my picks. But
but the thing is, though, I think in the AFC North, I think it's pretty much theirs to win.
Yeah, without a doubt. Baltimore's got that solidified, and I think same with Kansas City in the AFC West.
I mean, Cleveland might battle with them, but I'm not.
Cleveland, I don't think they figured this out.
I'm not sold
on Cleveland. I think Cleveland will not figure this out this season. There's a big debate right now of Baker Mayfield really, at least all that he was hyped up to be. So far, he's not looking like it. Again, picking up OBJ, who was just turning out to be I put OBJ right now on the same vein as Carmelo Anthony of being a cancer. He's a cancer. He's got it. Go look at, and I don't know if you've seen it. It's been passed across social media of what OBJ at least did for his kind of introductory of Sunday Night Football, how every player gets their chance to say. His was kind of very egotistical, as we've known about OBJ. He's got, for whatever reason, in my mind, OBJ's got to be that cancer in that locker room where it's about him, it's about me. Don't care about the team. It's about OBJ. Yeah. I think this is he could be the cause of why at least Cleveland is kind of suffering.
Where I said that Dallas is very good, I don't think they're great. Kansas City's great.
Yeah,
they're a great team, and their record pans out.
Same with the Patriots, but also too they took on the Jets.
Tom Brady's Tom Brady. Now the injury to Edelman that concerns me.
Not really.
It does. I would hope he's not out.
If I'm a Patriots fan, I'm not.
And then, of course, we weren't here when this all happened on Friday when Antonio Brown got the heave-ho.
Thankfully.
And basically Bill Belichick.
And now Antonio Brown's going on a tirade of how he's never playing in the NFL.
And he's going to sue the Patriots.
I think he posted on Instagram today that he's getting back into school. Good on him. Good for you, Antonio Brown. But, Patriots basically said, hey, we're done with this. We're done with this circus act.
And he was told by the Patriots organization, don't converse, don't get involved with your accuser or accusers.
And he did.
I mean, it's like, Antonio, don't do this. Okay, I will. You know, it's
again,
the guy's stupid. He's stupid.
I think what Antonio Brown just did, he kind of wrote his own death sentence in the NFL. Basically, I don't anticipate him ever playing again.
And other teams want him?
No. There can't be.
Antonio, quit selling yourself. You're not that good. Let's see what else we got here.
Honestly, he has the talent. He does.
I know he does.
Let's not disrespect. The guy's an idiot, though.
Thank you. There you go.
He's got the talent, let's be honest. He's a phenomenal wide receiver, but off the field, he's a moron.
The shocker of the National Football League season thus far, Lions.
Detroit, yeah. Go figure.
Now, the Eagles bothered me yesterday.
A team that is technically Lions, we can say, undefeated?
Yeah, they're 2-1. But what bothered me about this game, the Eagles actually had plenty of time left if they could have worked their way down to field goal position. They wanted to go for it all. They wanted the win.
Which, don't blame you in that situation being that aggressive, but it does bite you in the end, clearly as it did. And so be it. Hey, Eagles, you lost. Detroit 2-1. You know, in that situation, if I was a fan of the Eagles, I probably wouldn't be as upset in that situation of knowing that, you know, we were going to be aggressive, that your team is not going to settle for these ties that happen here in the NFL, where it's already happened once against the Detroit Lions. I get it. Don't blame them. But, oh, well, it happens.
Well, and again, just cost yourself another game in the East, so good for you.
Yeah. But also, too, is Dallas going to run away with that division?
Yeah, it's theirs for the taking.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know, I mean, the Giants, they got their win yesterday.
Yeah, Giants.
Daniel Jones, I'll tip my cap to him. He did not fold under the pressure.
Is this a resurgence, or is this now the Giants team that now gets win after win after win? No. I don't know.
No, they're not that good. And again, Tampa Bay definitely is not that good.
No.
Cardinals, if the Niners lose to the Cardinals this year, I'm going to be one ticked off hombre. They're not that good. Oh my gosh, Carolina. They could have scored more.
Cardinals are competitive to the point where they're not going to get at least steamrolled by teams.
They got beat by 18 by Carolina without Cam Newton.
Yeah, Cam Newton also too will at least be anticipated to miss this week as well. So Carolina again getting it done in Arizona. Cardinals, could they beat an NFC West foe like a Seattle, like an LA, like a San Francisco?
I would hope not.
Those in division kind of rivalry games, anything could happen. You could slip up. It wouldn't surprise me, but again, Cardinals, yeah, they are pretty bad.
I would hope not. All right, what was the other game yesterday?
How about Texans and Chargers? Yeah,
the Houston Texans.
Chargers are not impressive. I think that's why I'm saying Kansas City is one AFC West. I think without a doubt.
I know. I'm a fan of Deshaun Watson. I like him. I think he's a cool customer back there. He really is. And I think Phillip Rivers right now is in force. He's in force mode.
I think AFC South and outside of the LA Chargers, again, I think the Chargers are well below what my expectations are for this team. But for the Houston Texans, and just being that AFC South, and we saw that in Thursday night's game against Tennessee and Jacksonville, it's going to be a bloodbath between all four teams.
Well, and the thing, too.
Possibly. Jacksonville might be the team on the outside looking in, but you're going to see these teams beat up each other throughout this entire season.
I don't know what it is with the Chargers, and the L.A. Chargers, for some crazy oddball reason, have to be if they did play football in the month of September, they're the greatest football team around. They are the slowest starters. Don't know why. They just can't seem to put it together. But the loss to the Texans yesterday, inexcusable. They should not have lost in Carson.
No. Seattle proves that they are not good as well. Again, as I told you, Seattle is not that impressive. Sure, they've been able to get the victories, albeit close victories, but I still think the Seahawks are not playoff bound. They're not going to entertain in that NFC West. And it just proves, even at home against the Saints team that is missing one Drew Brees, you still couldn't get it done.
Is Russell Wilson a better quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater? Absolutely.
He should be on paper, but clearly, at least
Saints.
Yeah.
There was no way I would have penciled in the Saints to win this one yesterday, but they did.
I think Seattle has proven that they are not a good team. They're going to be a so-so.
They're
going to be a 500 team, and that's about it. But they're not playoff bound. They're not competing against L.A. or San Francisco.
I was disappointed in the 49ers. I'm glad they won. We lost. Both of us lost because on the point spread. But it was disappointing.
I had all the teams correct, but
the amount of mistakes that the Niners made. You can't – if you are going to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
And you are going to make some noise.
Hit them out of the way now, as it's week 3. I'll say that for the 49ers. But also, too, give credit to that 49er team with Jimmy G at the lead. Jimmy G is looking like, again, you talk about that 2-minute drive there at the end.
Right.
It's kind of an elite quarterback. That's Joe Montana kind of style, or at least styles that you're seeing out of this young guy.
For the first couple of quarters, he doesn't impress me.
All right, so he's slow to get started. But again, I'll say with the 49ers even having those amount of turnovers, what they did against the Steelers at home, you still come away with a 4-point victory over the Steelers. Still, that's very impressive in my eyes. If you're a 49er team to get that done, as bad as you looked overall in that game on Sunday, you still came away with the victory. Kudos to your team for battling.
They held the Steelers' total offense to 239 yards. I give the D a lot of kudos. The offense basically almost tried to give that game away.
Mm-hmm.
And again, offensively, Jimmy G had 268 yards passing, minus the 1 sack, had 168 yards rushing. So that's a very balanced attack for Kyle Shanahan, but you can't cough up the football. 2 INTs for Garoppolo. I get a little nervous with him. How many fumbles yesterday? 4 fumbles. They lost 3 of them.
Yeah.
You don't lose. And again, if
get it out of your system now.
I know, but if Roethlisberger was there, the Niners would have paid for that yesterday.
Possibly. Again, Pittsburgh is showing that they're, even with Roethlisberger here in the season, not all that impressive. But, 49ers at least squeaking away with a close one there, 24-20. Again, a last-minute, at least 2-minute drive by Jimmy G to get it done. Kind of on that elite QB kind of looks right there for one Jimmy G, who is now 9-2 as a 49er starter, at least being with that franchise. And then at least last contest that we didn't talk about, Sunday night's game, Rams versus the Browns in Cleveland. 7-point victory for L.A. I figured it'd be a little bit more in favor of L.A., or at least a little lopsided in favor of the Rams, but a win's a win.
Well, and
Rams still undefeated.
And Jared Goff, not a masterpiece. Had his problems. He threw a couple of INTs last night. So, I
think
they did enough to win.
Week 3 in the NFL was just wacky overall. It was just a weird vibe across the entire league of what we just saw. So, other than that, though, again, L.A. and San Fran tied 3-0. Again, undefeated in the NFC West, so that's going to be a nice little battle. Interesting as well, too, with the 49ers, a team that does have the early Week 4 bye. Go figure. Go figure for this team that, does not at least have a game until taking on the Browns at home against October 7th. So, going back to that 49er debacle that was Sunday, even though they got the win, here's your chance of bye week to figure out things, get those at least turnovers, those fumbles all kind of squared up.
Do we have another break left?
Yeah, we do.
All right, well, let me do this here before we go into the break, real quick, just so everybody knows. Major League Baseball. I'm going to throw this out here real quick.
Afterward?
No, let's get it done now because we got to introduce what's coming up here later on this evening. Yankees won their division, obviously, as they clinched it. They got 102 wins. The Rays, 92 wins. Who would have thunk it this year? The Twins still haven't really clinched their division, but they're up by 4 with 6 to play. Astros clinching the division as they lead the A's by 8. The A's still hold on to that number 1 wild card as they're up by 2 over Tampa. And, as a matter of fact, Cleveland is now tied with Tampa for the second wild card position.
Mm-hmm.
We go over to the National League. The Braves have clinched that division. The Nats are not the number 1 team anymore. Milwaukee and the Nats are tied.
Again, that's a flip-flop of what has been happening. The biggest surprise right now in MLB has been the downfall, the downturn of the Chicago Cubs.
Cubs, holy Toledo. So, anyway, the Nats actually have 2 less games on the slate than the Brewers. So, Brewers right now and the Nats are tied for that number 1 spot. Who's probably next in line? I think those 2 teams are going to just battle who's going to be the
Phillies
top
aren't. You look at the Arizona Diamondbacks, no. It's pretty much down to that.
And the Cubs, they would need a miracle. Dodgers won
Cubs
100 games, so they pretty much have just ruined the National League West. So that's what's going on in Major League Baseball.
Talk to me when playoffs are here.
Well, they'll be coming up here next week.
Yeah.
So next week we will have Oakland hopefully at home hosting the AL wild
For whatever reason, you're still at least wearing Rockies gear at this point in time as a team that is on pace of.
I support Major League Baseball. I like all baseball. I wear a Rangers shirt once in a while. And where are they at? They're in third place in the West. All right,
doing better than that Rockies team.
Well, yeah, the Rockies are last. They're 67 and 89. The good news, they're not going to lose 100 games this year.
They might next year.
Who knows?
If they don't figure out things.
All right, we got to take our last time out. Then we're going to come back and set you up what's going on for this evening. And also, too, we want to congratulate our latest winner of our tickets on our giveaway here. Again, the Cowboys and UNLV coming up this Saturday over at the War. Back after this. First Tier Bank is proud to team up again with the Wyoming chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. You're invited to join and participate in the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer event on Saturday, September 28th. Registration begins at 10:30 in the morning at Lions Park at the South Picnic Shelter. For more information, contact Janet Lewis at 307-287-6569 or go online to alz.org/walk to learn more. We'll see you Saturday, September 28th at Lions Park for the Walk to End Alzheimer's, brought to you by the Wyoming chapter of the Alzheimer's Association and First Tier Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
At Platte Valley Bank, we love to see our customers come through the door. Well, we know life can be busy and you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking products with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, mobile deposit, and now digital wallet. At Platte Valley Bank, you can manage your money how you want, when you want. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC. Some common things that can affect your personal or at-work computer. The worst of all is a virus. Secondly, it runs too slow because the hard drive is filled or something else internally is wrong, and it's in serious need of an upgrade. Before you get rid of it, let Lanny at Affordable Computer Repair attack and fix those problems right away. Affordable Computer Repair is just that. So call 307-256-8971 and let Lanny's many years of computer service get your computer back up and running the way it should be so you don't miss a day of work or the personal use that you expect from it. He's worked on them all, so you'll feel confident he'll get the job done right. So don't junk it. Help is on the way from Affordable Computer Repair. Call 307-256-8971.
Capital Lumber is lumber one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is lumber one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Well, the wise for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 77, mostly clear for tonight with our low down to 45 degrees. Continued sunny for tomorrow, we're calling for a daytime high of 77, mostly clear Tuesday night with our low down to 44, and for Wednesday, sunshine, and we're calling for a daytime high near 70.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today as we get ready to wrap things up. Coming up this evening, we will have Fort Laramie ×2 from 8 until 9 on our Golden Age Radio.